Welcome to the Zeph Report. How are you? Step right on in and find a clue. Greetings in the name of the Most High. Once again, explanations as to why things are the way they are. And what you have to understand is I'm broadcasting here, I think it's around 5 o'clock a.m. Mountain Time, 7 o'clock East Coast, 4 o'clock West Coast. Dawn is just breaking, the light of the dawn, the firmament is there. They'll look slightly different. The sun has a white, intense white light that comes up that seems different from the orangish hues that we had before, but that could be an atmospheric thing. There has been a UFO that was cut off at the space station. The cameras were cut off, and I want to go into why the cameras were cut off. The cameras are cut off because they don't want you to have any thought that they don't control. They don't want you to realize that there is tremendous activity up in the heavens. They don't want you, because that leads to asking questions, and that ultimately leads to God. You see, it leads to God as your Father. God is my Father. It leads to the Lord, the Lamb, Jesus, Yahusha, Yeshua, and other names, Isa and whatnot. But it's all Yahusha, Yeshua, Yahweh, Yeshua, as one. In other words, it's all contained really in Yahweh, which is the I am that I am. And that is the hope and the light of the world. And as long as you understand that's there and the Lord's there, guiding us through this nightmare, then you can get through this nightmare, which is what they don't want you to do. They want you to scream and yell right now and go, I can't handle it, help me, and throw yourself and sell out to them. That's what they want. They want you to sell out to them with your fears and your concerns. And they would like to tell you a lullaby and put you back to sleep and tell you that nothing's really going on while they kill you. And, it's much more severe. I was ticked with the show Mr. Robot because it was so patently obvious what their political views and their inane adolescence, their spiritual adolescence caused me to not be able to, because I liked the basic show, but I had to turn it off. I had to stop watching because of the pedantic nature of the show. Pedantic solutions, pedantic reactions, pedantic everything. Childish and pedantic. And so therefore I had to leave. Mind you, I didn't want to leave. I didn't really buy it. It comes free with my Amazon whatever. I don't know what the heck. I guess I got a free enrollment in something because they let me watch these things. But Amazon, what a joke that is. But then, I couldn't, I'm like, is there any intelligence in Hollywood? Or is this all stupid like this? Yeah, they know how to put a character together. They know how to film something. They know how to make it compelling. But it was just too, and then culturally, it's just too she and trying to be too with it and the latest this and that. And I'm like, I can see through all that. You see, I see through all that. I'm not impressed with the cultural, whatever the cultural thing is lately. I don't care. Again, it's pedantic at best, sophomoric, pedantic, insipid, stupid, banal, and ridiculous, and not helpful, because when the solution is, let's blow up the data center, that'll solve it and set the world free. Where's my rattle? Where's my pacifier? I want to blow it all up because I don't like it. Meh, 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 meh. Pedantic, childish, stupid. I'm like, do they really make shows more and more stupid with each passing season? Is that what it is? You know, and then of course when I saw the website and the producers' websites giving hearts to, you know, riots and burning police cars and stuff, I was like, oh, I see. My name is Baby Obama. We're a racist nation. I want to get what I want. Wow! Baby! Barack Obama is a big baby. All he really is a baby. And everyone's like, oh, wow, yeah, he's important. And he's not even like, he's an empty suit. No, he's just a baby. Coddled all his life, a baby. Sitting there going, nah, 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 nah. And everyone's going, oh, yes, sir, bow down. And it's, well, you can get an idea of what a nightmare this is. That I have to withstand this sort of thing. It's just like my soul is the total opposite of all this. You know what I mean? I mean, to even, that someone would even give this idiot credibility, like when he tries to speak at Dallas and he's shushing, and then with those little fingers, and you need to do this, and you need, I'm going to browbeat you, bim, 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 bim. Every time there's a funeral that he causes, every time he does another false flag, every time there's a psyop, you're going to be shamed. And I'm just wondering, does anyone realize they're all psyops? Does anyone understand their, collusion? Or, we all want to be babies together. Oh, boy, I thought I had calmed down. I tried to give myself an extra day to calm down before I went to the microphone, but apparently there's just no one's letting me off the hook. Whoa. So I finally, and because I'm looking for something, to watch, and because I've been, working all day in the studio, and I've got to, I'm having to do, I'm having to, I have the Shadowlands thing up because that's a very, on the world stage, that's an important track, even if the people don't realize it yet, which means they're stupid. Of course, stupid, and then they're stupid, and then, of course, they're stupid, and then they're, my goodness, they're stupid. Oh, boy, they're stupid. Gee, they're just, it doesn't count here. They're too stupid. They're just stupid. They're stupid. They react like babies. They don't like, I need a safe zone. I need a safe zone on my campus. I need a safe zone. I just can't handle the trauma of a Donald Trump. I need a safe zone. I'm living in babyland. And if you think the majority is waking up, you're out of your freaking mind. The majority has gone back to sleep while you thought they were waking up. They're not waking up. They're going further into a coma. They're babies now. They're going to be wearing diapers in public pretty soon. Like in Japan, they're going to be wearing diapers and pooping themselves and becoming infantile. You're going to have, the next movement I predict is not the trans movement's come and gone because Obama is the big liberator of all these people and their fetishes. So the next thing is going to be adult infants, adults that didn't have a good childhood, so they're going to be raised as infants, and they're going to be adult babies. That's a fetish out there, but it's going to go mainstream as we need to have rights like, when you go to work, there's going to have to be a room with cribs and toys in it so that the adult babies can go be babies and then people to take care of them. Well, any kind of nightmarish thing you want to see, Jacob's Ladder, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm just wondering if there's anybody that even knows anything anymore. I'm insulted daily by what is said. Not personally insulted. I'm embarrassed for humanity. Insulted, I'm insulted because it didn't used to be this way. It used to be there was a certain wisdom and erudition, a certain civility and decorum, a certain way that you went about relating to others. I mean, I understand there's totalitarianism, there was torture, there was rape, there was incarceration, there was the killing of people's families if they had information about a certain thing. I understand all that. So, look, you people that are saying this is not hell, where do you think you are? No, let me answer that. Let me ask you that. Where do you think you are? The people that are under gang stalking, do you know that is a living hell? Do you know how first of all, it's nightmarish and supernatural in the way of collusion, because there's no way that they could get together and plan it all out like that. And then all the things that happen and the result of the terror and pain is hell. Is it would burning in the lake of fire? Well, the lake of fire burning, that's the people that take that literally are wrong, because I just did a study on it. And the hell is referred to as it's Hades or Gehenna. And so you see, I don't even know why I'm around the fundamentalist circles, why they still listen to me, because nothing will be, in that state. It's more like this. It's more like whether or not you'll be with the Lord, right, versus not. There's hell, there's punishment, obviously, further punishment. But, we're in the realm of the dead, aren't we? Isn't this Gehenna? It sure as hell is. It's some kind of thing like that. The Catholics come up with an idea of purgatory, which is kind of a cool idea, too. It's just nobody has ever adequately explained anything to me. You know what I mean? Nobody at any church, no one pastor, nobody. I had to figure all this out on my own. And it's like this, they say, well, people are people that God will reconcile everything to himself. Well, indeed, he is, and he always is, and everything is already reconciled to himself. So it's like, let him be filthy, let him be filthy still. In other words, there's a divide that goes on. There's a hell. We're in a karmic hell right now. You have the specter of World War III, that's hell. You have economic complete collapse, that's hell. You have the police state globally, that's hell. You have, all this mind control to make sure that you don't have any hope in God or anything else, that's hell. It's like a totally cut off from God place, isn't it? I won't speculate any further on it, but it's like, this idea that there will be some area that won't be redeemed to God. Everything's redeemed to God, but it just, there are people that are his children, and then perhaps ones that are not. And I'll just leave it at that. That anything that is not of God, of course, everything is reconciled, but not everything will be a person. Let's just put it that way. But there will be no memory of anything. There'll be nobody watching over this place called hell when you're translated to the Lord or whatever, when you're in the kingdom. There's nothing, there's no past there. There's no looking over people and shaming them and saying, I'm glad you're burning in hell. There isn't anything like that. That's as pedantic as, these shows that they try to ram down your throat. The sad thing about Mr. Robot is there's so many people that actually like the show. And it does have a certain appeal to it, even though the character is completely unsympathetic. He's cute, though, right? So people, you know what I mean? So he'll be a kind of a turn-on for the girls. But, it's okay, I suppose. But unfortunately, they try to infuse too much of a political message, which is basically the anonymous message, which is somehow you can get justice on earth through man, which is impossible. And so they make the same mistake of, I just blow it up, it'll be okay. It's like the Fight Club. I'll just get rid of your credit cards by blowing the buildings up where the credit cards are. And then, it's just basically our revolution is just begun. If we overturn, and there's the groaning cry of humanity trying to become, not debt slaves. They became debt slaves. And I'm like, whoa, you're slaves when you're born. You're a debt slave in the sense you owe your parents. How many people are kind to their parents when they get older? 3? Great. But, you owe your parents. You owe you owe a lot of things. They basically say you owe your soul to the whole world. Your world is just basically here to collect your soul. We're just here to collect your soul so you can be Collective Soul. How's that for the name of a band, Collective Soul? I know what they meant, but I mean, in the bigger picture, they look like idiots, right? Well, no, I mean, if you're sitting in no one's going to think that. It's all going to be cool. It's all cool. It's very cool. And everything's cool. It's so cool. It's cool. It's very, very cool. Don't worry, the coolness is not blown, okay? The coolness is not blown. So it's okay to sell your soul because then you get coolness because then it's not blown. Okay? So I just want to make sure that we're reminded of something like that where coolness is not blown. All right, so no worries because coolness is not blown. So it's okay. Go ahead. Feel sorry for the other half, The have-nots, the uncool. They're just the know-nothing idiots, the unwashed masses. But then again, we got to keep them unwashed because if everyone did what I did, well, by Jove, there'd be nothing to go around everybody. There's not enough for everybody. So we don't need everyone selling out to find the inside trick of Satan, the inside straight, the inside trick. So NASA pulls the plug on the camera because something by Jove entered in, and by Jove, they don't want you to, by Jove, know what's going on. By Jove. And they don't want you communicating with something out there that's coming in. But you see, someone said I had prophesied about the UFOs and coming in. Well, I didn't prophesy. I just simply stated it. Whether it's a prophecy or not, I don't know. But I stated it, and they're coming in. They have to figure out how to spin it, how to control it, how to guard the information, how to keep them in at all costs. Oh boy, I'm just so frustrated right now. I just so frustrated. I so frustrated. ISO. I don't have that song with me. I have to kind of update. What I have to do is download a lot of these things in MP3 because I'm in the chair right now, okay? This is kind of like the real chair. This is the chair that looks up to the heavens. Heavens with an S. Thank you. Much obliged. The Mandela effect, or if you like, the quantum shifts, are increasing so that we have new dawns all the time, which I really love. I really love the new dawn. And then I love the idea that, don't worry, there'll be another chance tomorrow. don't worry, there'll be another new you tomorrow. It's like, sort of like Groundhog Day, only different. In that it's a different day instead of the same day over and over. I guess the El Reverso of Groundhog Day. And the masses don't even see what's going on. They don't even realize about these shifts and all this stuff is going out of control. It's just off the charts. It's just like, at this point, 2 and 2 is whatever isn't even a number anymore. You know what I mean? The physics is coming loose. And I'm really happy to see that. I'm so happy to see that. Oh, how I love the chaos. I mean, the cosmic chaos that causes people to go, eh, and then I'm like, yeah, and it's going on. It's going on, yeah. Yeah, look up. And we're in a world now where, I haven't seen, I know there's people that have been posting chemtrails like, really big, giant, wide swaths. But it's all different, right? The whole chemtrail thing, the whole chemtrail profile has gotten much different now. Well, I started off yelling just because, I had been up to here with it, up to however, with being, having babies try to shame me. Me. I'm like, it means nothing to me. All your talk about racism and your thisism and thatism, it means nothing to me. We don't come from here. This is not our home. So you can go shame, I don't know, whoever's listening to you and tell them they need to learn how to not be, this is just like being back in college, right? They shame you for being a white person. I'm like, it doesn't make any difference. I could be any color. I mean, this was the color I got, but I could have been issued any color. Black, white, brown, purple, whatever, it doesn't matter. Any color at all, anything at all, any background at all, it didn't matter. So please don't shame me about those things because they don't matter to me. I don't exist in your world. I'm not educated by your schools. I don't go to I'm not in your clubs. I'm not doing the secret handshake. I don't care about the things you care about. So I would hope that you would understand that. I know you won't, but the things that concern this world are not my concerns. I remember when I had a word about, this was an actual word, which, the actual words are very quiet and they kind of go under the radar, nobody gets them. But, a few people that pick up on it, but I mean, you have to be very prescient, very sensitive. I don't know when they're going to occur, but they do on occasion, but they go really under the radar. It's not like pound the table, drum roll, like the false prophets out there. They drum roll, and then listen, here's my big vision. Well, my son, and then, then this. Then they put them all over YouTube, their big vision. And then 100 years later, they say, see, it's coming due. That's fine. But I consider that all, just like, would you consider the center of the universe your religion? That's another thing. I don't care about the religions of the world, including Christianity. I could care less about the numbers for or against Jesus. I don't care. The reason I don't care is because the gospel's already been gone out and rejected. They made their decision, and I'm good with that. I don't know what's the problem. No, the gospel has gone out to the world, and it was rejected. What's the problem? People don't believe it. They don't believe the story. That's just the way it is. The numbers do not bear it out. It's Islam that's the popular thing, and then I guess Luciferianism will come in and top that as the ultimate fun religion. Do what thou wilt. Kill them all in the square. get used to mass killing publicly. Believe me, the person on the other end of that killing, on the other end of that sword, will be the one that's being relieved of duty, because you're going to die anyway. So, you might as well go out with gusto, because the people remaining here are going to bludgeon each other to death, and, they're just so, they're going to get what they want. They're very base. They're very unspiritual. They're very carnal. So they're going to get what they want. It's a false paradigm, carnal, because all that exists is the spirit. And then there's this anomaly called, the material world, which is basically a world of illusion. So they'll get their delusion that this really frickin' matters, that this is really important. And, the real answer is nothing is important. I mean, this is why people do drugs. It's because, they're empty inside. They feel a sense of depression in the world. They're very sensitive people, many of them. They can't handle it anymore, so they get on the drugs to knock back the pain and to have a little bit of joy. And then they become addicts because of the fact that it leads to degradation because of Satan. In other words, there was no avenue there. They fell for it. It was a cheap trick. So they fell for it. And, the only solution to it is to be filled with the Holy Spirit, which can only come through a complete, total death to self into Christ, which can only come from a total belief that it's true, which is very rare upon the earth these days. People see the injustice and they see the evil and they blame God. So they say if you got a Bible or if you belong to Jesus or any of that stuff, they just as soon kill you. Because they don't want any, it's the drug, you see. It's the idea that you're getting filled by something other than them. That you're somehow all right, apart from the collective sewage. Yes, I just called humanity sewage. Deal with it. The only humanity worth a damn is a humanity that sees the truth. So therefore, oh well, it's not my fault. Look, the way it is with them is this. They want to take it easy. They want to have the easy way out. And so it's offered to them when they're in high school and they take it. And then they have, their little lives planned out and it's all part of the collective and they're happy. Let them just live and die in peace. Who cares? They're conformed to the world. They have no brain. They have no soul. They have no, they're just automatons. They're basically zombies. Right? And they're going to go and they're going to eat and they're going to, copulate and they're going to have their little zombie children and they're going to just have their lives. And they're going to call it very good. And they're going to say, thank you, Satan. Over and over again. Well, I'm here to tell you that there's no point anymore. And, we'll keep praying and we'll keep, doing what we do. And I pray because I believe thoroughly in the Lord, 1,000%. And I believe thoroughly in the Lamb is the Lord, is Christ, is the One, is God, etc. And I let the Lord guide me. I have had to kind of divorce myself from people's idea of timelines and things because time is, as you can see, it's irrelevant at this point, right? Time and timelines. So when you say 2018, 2015, 2025, it doesn't matter anymore because time's been so violated. What I'm here to talk about is, while we're here, I mean, it's not enough to just do nothing, but I mean, we're here kind of waking up those souls that are actually meant to wake up, right? And we're praying constantly, and we understand we're here sojourning through this world, but on our way elsewhere. And we have to really prepare for that. And that's, the flesh part of me cries out and, must deride the world as being, what it is. But on the other hand, the people, like I say, they made their choice. They chose what they chose. And, like, for example, like ISIS. They're completely under mind control, and they do what the powers that be tell them to do. And they, the theatrics of beheading people and drowning them in cages and all kinds of things are wag the dog. I mean, it happens. Yes, people die, but it's all part of the, frightening the people to death so they can bring in a top-down oligarchical police state, and then they can move it into the Luciferian initiation part and make that a one-world religion. The interfaith is really gaining steam. I mean, I see Obama spoke at this interfaith thing, which is basically Chrislamic. And look, I can't help it. I mean, I don't. That's why I like the UFOs. I love the UFOs because they hate them. They want to suppress them. They want to stop them. They want to make sure you didn't see that. So they turn the camera off. So therefore I like them. They hate them, I like them. They don't want you... What's that? Could have been an asteroid or meteor. Well, whatever it was, they were quick to turn that camera off, weren't they? Yep, they sure were. Meaning that they blew it because they confirmed that it's all true. So look up for your redemption draweth nigh. I'm not saying the UFO is your redeemer, but don't count it out that angels don't have vehicles or you're in trouble. They may not be vehicles you would understand, but I mean, to think they don't have vessels is, don't just keep, look, here's to be an error on the side of caution. Keep fluid about it. Don't become Don't let the orthodoxy or the doctrine of the fundamentalism stop you. If you see angels, it's not like you've sinned. I mean, are we ready to throw off the Christian fundamentalist mind control? Because it seems to me that, ever since I stepped into that, it's been just really hard, It's been... like this kind of, don't look at this, don't look at that. We saw it with the Mandela effect. They started saying we're going to hell and they went nuts. And that runs, the whole Steve Quayle thing, that runs the coast to coast end time prophet Christians. And then they have this basic guilt and shame at the base of it all, this guilt and shame and pornography thing going on. You know what I mean? Because when you have all that guilt and shame, you have to have pornography and vices like that in order to balance it out. And so the New Agers are looking and laughing. They go, see that? Jesus, huh? And they laugh. So they actually kind of do a disservice to the people on the... Because I can't tell you on the path. I mean, I can't. I know this, that the Lord is self-regulating. Now, nobody has to tell me it's not good to be drunk every day. You know what I mean? No one has to tell me that. The Lord straightens me out because I belong to Him. He's the one that has me in, the whole detox mode and all that. You know what I mean? No one has to tell me that it's not good to eat 5,000 calories a day. I understand this. No one has to tell me that it's not good to cuss every single day all over the place because you create a vibe. You create a backlash for yourself. No one has to tell me that, hating is wrong because it's going to bring hate back. In other words, it's going to prevent you from moving on to the next phase of in the spirit. No one has to tell me that, barking at the unbelievable stupidity of the world is, eventually toxic. I know that. I'm knocking it off for the rest of the show here. It's toxic if we stay there and we don't experience the divine, the